Welcome to Teach Your Users Tips with Teaching Tips. Hey, I'm Eric, and lately I've been working on the next version of the Simple Object Designer, and we're introducing some potentially not so simple things. So we try to make simple in the Object Designer, but it gets more sophisticated anyway. So I've been working on adding teaching tips to the app to help the users adapt and figure out what to do. And I looked around and there's not that much information on teaching tips out there, so I thought I'll do a video on this and show you what I've learned so far. And let's actually start by having a common ground. So let's talk about what is teaching tips. Here's the customer card in Business Central, and I have opened the customer card, and you see there was a tip there. If I open it again, there are no tips. You can click on the title of even actually mouse over, I think is enough, or click on the title of a page, and that will give you the a tip at least. So this is a teaching tip about customer details with the blah blah blah. Take a tour. I love a tour, so I'll take a tour. Boom, invoicing. Okay, well, it's a rough start, but I guess we got to start somewhere. So the invoicing section here, you can manage tax settings and so on. That's nice. You click next and you go the payment section, manage the user's payment, and it kind of tries to stay. You see now it points upwards, and now it points downwards. It's not scrolling, it's not scrolling with the page, but it's catching up. I do next. And then for some reason I get this guy as a teaching tips here. When you open a page, you can quickly do the next one, and I can open a new window. So that's the tour. I can go up and I can do it again, retake the tour. And I get the same 2 tips and something else. If I'm on the page, I can do the same thing, but then I get another tip. So I get a tip on the page here for creating a new document, but not about the other section, which makes sense. But here I do not get a tip about create document. Anyway, so how's this done? I guess that's the real question. So let's find somewhere we can add some teaching tips. And when in doubt, as you have seen plenty of times on this channel, whenever I need something to mess around with, whether it be permissions or something else, I usually grab my point of sale app, because it's just a nice little app that we can always improve. And the point of sale app, I think I actually did install it before the video. Let's see. Point of sale. It's kind of like an invoice kind of thing. It has the scanning stuff in it. If you haven't seen this app before, then I suspect you're not a subscriber. So go subscribe, and then you can see how this app is created, and there's some pretty cool stuff with how I interact with a barcode reader. Anyway, so but we have a header and some lines, and it's all good. So let's try to add some teaching tips to this. And point of sale, that's the page that we're in, and we can see that somewhere, let me rec. We can see that we have the lines as a part. So there's a go away. POS lines, which is this page. So that's the list part, subform, whatever we want to call it, a part. Anyway, so to add teaching tips, we start on the page. So let the page present itself. And we do that up here. And you would think that, hey, then it will be called, you know, teaching tips title. No, that would be too easy. That would be too easy. No, it's called about title. So we could probably see welcome to point of sale. That's the title. And then there's another one called about text. You can start scanning items from this screen to quickly sell a lot of stuff in your nice shop. That's at least something. So how does that look? Let's deploy and check it out. Okay, so welcome to point of sale. So that's our title. Learn more will take us to point of sale. You see it says pointofsale.com/ which is because if we go in and we check app.json, that's our context sensitive help URL. That should probably not go to that. So you see, that's the danger of, you know, if you do a new project and this one just defaults to something, how you name your app. So, and if you just do AL project 1, alproject1.com, you know, somebody bought that. So be aware what your URL actually says. Anyway, so take a tour, and then we get open a new window. Okay, so that's apparently a generic tour things, because that one was also on the customer card. Okay, so far so good. We got a teaching tip on the page. So let's teach some stuff here. What about this guy? That's a field. So let's do about title, receipt status, about text. Here you can see if you got an active receipt. If you got an active receipt, that's probably good. So now we got one. Let's deploy again. Let's see how this goes. So welcome to point of sale. Yeah, good. Wow, nice. Yes, shop. Anyway, that's a typo. Did you yell at me? I didn't hear it. Okay, retake the tour. We got receipt status. It points at the field. That is very nice. If you have, that's probably more correct. Well, this shouldn't turn into. This is not about English and my lack of capability to just type and spell. Anyway, so that's pretty good. So we got the welcome and we got one more. So what else can we? So we got. Let's try it actually first here. Here's the pay action. So let's try that. So we can do a about title receive payment, about text, click, pay to receive payment from the customer. Okay, so now we have 3. Who's somebody should count. Let me get rid of all these tabs. Okay, so I'll take the tour, retake the tour, receipt status, 1 of 2. Now, receive payment, it points to the pay. That is pretty nice. Show tips about this page type. So now we got open new window 3 of 3 back. Oh, this is weird. Do you see that? Okay, so now we apparently said yes to show tips about the page type, and then this is included in the tour. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so we got a field, we got an action, and we got a page. That is awesome. And so interestingly enough, we got the field before the action. I have not, I've not really assigned an order to this. We just happen to type in the one on the field before the one on the action. So why is our fields always before actions? Well, let's actually, okay, so let's add one more here. So we'll add one on the other action. So about title, start a new receipt, about text, click here to start a new receipt, or you can just start scanning if you have a scanner. So now we have 2 action and 1 field. So what is the order now of this? I run this egg, I take the tour, status, new receipt, and pay. So the one we just created came between the 2 others. What if this one starts with an A? So we're changing the action's name to start with something that's before. So here's my theory. I have no idea if this is right or not. This was N and P, and unless I cannot remember the alphabet, N is before P. So now A should be before N. So let's try that. We do the tour, receipt status, start a new receipt, receive payment. So this is still in the same order. So what is controlling the order? Should we try to move them around in the code? See what that does. So there's back to A, and then so now we moved the order of the code. We do retake the tour, receipt status, pay, start new receipt. Okay, so I wonder if the same thing with fields. That is actually the order of Okay, let's ignore that for a second. So, well, I guess the next thing we want to, let me actually just, sorry, before we suddenly forget that I truly do want new before pay, just to have some order in the universe. But now I want to tip about the lines, and I want to tip about the total. So let's, so I do about title, receipt, totals, about text. So now we're adding the on the part. Here you can check the total of the receipt during entry and scanning. So now we have a part with a teaching tip. So we run the tour again, take the tour 4. That's pretty good. So we got receipt status, we got start new, we got receipt payment, and then we got receipt total. So we have a tip on the part. Okay, so I guess I can do the same thing with, where is it, with the lines. So we can do an about, title, receipt lines, about text. Here are all the items on the receipt that has been entered or scanned. I lost count again. I think we're at 5 now. Okay, so we take the tour. Receipt status, receipt. Oh, hang on. Oh, that's interesting. So now we got receipt lines after the status, then it goes to the actions, then it goes to the payment, and then it goes to the fact box. Meaning, hang on. So let's minimize this for a second here. So we do the content stuff, then we do the actions, and then we do the fact boxes. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so let's look at what if we try to, the subform. Okay, let's try the subform here. So let's go to, so now we have a tip about, where is it? Here. About here, all the lines. But maybe we want to do a tip here. Oh, I see. This was probably programmed before that warning came. That was nice. Okay, so maybe we want a tip on the quantity for some reason. So I'll do an about, well, let's actually first see what happens if, see, I did this one, but what about if we remove the teaching chip here and put it here? Oops. Okay, let's see that. So we are at 5, I think. Take the tour, Now we're only at 4. Oops. Okay, so this actually, let me try one thing. Let me just try to do this just to make sure, and we ignore the show my code stuff, that we are implicit with. Yeah. Okay. Wait, so let's maybe that one is ignored. Let's do the quantity. So about title item quantity. About text, if you were scanning the same item twice, it will update the existing line with a larger quantity instead of adding a new line. Okay, so now we have a teaching tip on quantity. Let's do this. Retake the tour. Now we're on 5. So now we got the tip on the subpage on lines. Next. Okay, but the okay, so we cannot, oops, what am I doing? So we cannot put a tip here. We have to put this tip on the part. But let's say, okay, so we gotta try something now. So here, it was still kind of weird. Okay, so let me actually just do this one more time, because the order of things here was, so I take the tour, receipt status, receipt lines, receipt quantity, oops, action, fact box. So let's quickly create a processing. It's the only area you can have on the line part. Action VIP caption equal VIP application area all promoted. Doesn't work here, but I would love it to actually work. Promoted only true. Promoted category process, and then trigger on action begin message VIP customer. I don't know what this is. This is just something. Okay, so let's add a about here. Oh, that was title. That was title. About text. Specify if this is a VIP customer. Okay, so let's see what we have. Okay, take the tour. Was it 6 before? Man, I should keep a post-it note, I think. Okay, receipt status. Receipt lines, line quantity, start a new receipt, pay, receipt total. That's it. So this one never got that for some reason. That one is it's not working. Okay, so I want to do 25 minutes in. Sorry, I didn't really plan for this to be a long video. I just want to try one more thing. What if we put a teaching tip on the amount including tax in the fact box? About title. Remember tax. Whatever we want to call it. Yeah. About text. Total. This total is including VAT, tax, whatever it is in your country. GST, PST, HST. There's lots of different types out there. So now we got teaching tips inside the fact box also. I could have tried to add it on the sub page here, but I'm pretty sure that since it didn't work on this one, it will not work on this one either. So we'll take the tour. We had 7. 7 is a good number, I think. We had 6 the last time, right? So we got the receipt lines. Hang on. We got the receipt status, the lines, the quantity in the subform, the 2 actions, the total, and we have the field inside the fact box. So this is pretty nice. This is pretty good. Yeah. It's kind of weird with the order. I would love some way to control the order. Controlled, because we're telling a story here. We're opening a page and then we're trying to guide the user through the page in a logical way. This is what I discovered on the simple object design, that I really wanted to, describe the flow and the order. It was hard to control. It's hard to control the order, and I think this one is showing the same thing. Actually, I want to do one more thing. Then I promise this is the last one. This is the last change. I want to add one more field up here. Let's just add this guy about specify the customer. About text. If you're not selling with cash payment, then you can specify a customer. Wow, a customer here. Boom. So where will this one come in the order? Hopefully, I believe before the lines, but now I'm not sure. So let's try this out. Retake the tour, receipt status. Yes, customer. Lines. Inside the line, actions, fact box, inside fact box. Yeah. Teaching tips. I think this is actually a pretty cool way of trying to, teach your users some tips, but we have a tendency, and I use a very, very inclusive we, to make complicated pages, and the customer. I'm just going back here for a second. The customer card is a great example. there's a lot of stuff here. And this is truly scary, and you could do show less and that stuff, but it's still scary. But it is the nature of the beast, and all attempts to remove stuff fails because you need it. But the chips is a great way to, take the user by the hand and guide them through a page. While working on the object design, I found a few more places where it would not accept you to put in the teaching tips. So I guess there are, from Microsoft perspective, there's still some unfinished business for this to truly support the entire UI. And it would be really nice to have a way to control the order, so you can say, okay, fill out those 4 fields, then this action, then you can go to these lines and do this and that action and look over here and stuff like that. Well, a girl can wish, I guess. That's it for teaching tips. Until next time, you could check out that video, because that's a good one. See you there. Bye.